please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Rekieta. The reason why is because on the 26th of November, breaking Baldo News, who Rekieta loves oh so much, not a joke, he doesn't totally retweet them quite a lot, had tweeted at 14:15 Central Standard Time, Rekieta will attend a settlement conference to enter a plea for charges of felony second-degree drug possession and gross misdemeanor illicit firearms and child neglect. Guilty or not guilty, time to choose. 4 replies I thought I'd share with you. Legal Seagull, Rekieta is a weak drug-addicted fool. He doesn't have what it takes to win a court case. He's going to take whatever plea they give him. Now this is interesting because it's a stark contrast to his big balls brave attitude on Twitter, where he's very aggressive to anyone that criticises him, if there are enough followers. He will go in on you if he has the chance. My view was that perhaps he would take a guilty plea deal because it made more sense, but I had heard rumblings of a continuance. We'll get to that soon. Second reply, take it to trial, Nick. Third, he's way too intimidated to go to trial. And finally, if I had to guess, I'd say he's going to plead guilty and take whatever deal he can get. I assume he wants the neglect thing dropped in exchange for a guilty plea on the drugs, but I doubt they'll go for it. In the end, he'll take the deal. I felt a guilty plea would make sense, but as I mentioned, continuance, I should probably mention what that is. It's essentially a legal way of stalling, adjourning legal proceedings for a future date essentially. Yeah, either because more investigations need to be concluded or because the sentencing couldn't happen at the same time and the guilty plea had in fact been accepted and it just needs time to settle, as it were. But since there's been no mention on Rekieta's Twitter at time of recording, I don't know if that's what he did. Now another thing of note that we should share is that Rekieta, her brief to challenge probable cause, was released. It's 8 pages, and I thought, ooh, let's have a look at that before we get to what happened, or what I believe happened, yesterday with a video clip. It's 8 pages, so sit down. It's going to be an interesting one. So to page 1. To the above-named court, the state and their attorney, this matter came before the court for contested omnibus hearing on the 28th of October 2024 at that courthouse. Yes, I still don't know how to pronounce it, and I can't be asked to learn because I'm lazy. Facts. On the 22nd of May 2024, Deputy Quinn Pomplin, with the Sheriff's Office, applied for and obtained a warrant to search defendant Rekieta's home, which she shares with her husband, Rekieta, and their 5 children. In addition, the warrant granted the Sheriff's Office the ability to search Nicholas's person. The allegations contained in the application for search warrant were as follows. These, by the way, are my favourite parts. 1. An unidentified reporter heard the following rumours about Rekieta, the Rekieta even, from other people in their church. A to H a special. A. There were concerns about neglect, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple, the Imholts, who are also married. B. The Imholts may have been staying with the Rekietas. C. The home was in disarray and cluttered. D. The children were hungry, not fed, wearing clothing multiple days in a row and started smelling. E. Nicholas appeared lethargic, high, or drugged while driving a car around. F. Nicholas walked out randomly on sermons and was exhibiting behavioural changes. G. Kayla looks anorexic and Nicholas has recently lost weight. H. Nicholas had injection or track marks on his arms. Now some of these can be dismissed to an extent. Home being in disarray and cluttered, quite common for many people who aren't proud of their houses, or take too much for granted perhaps, or simply aren't good enough to have a nice tidy home. The looking anorexic and losing weight thing could well be to a dietary change. I say could, it's a very important word, because H undoes it. The track marks are very important, aren't they? Now, 1, where it says, heard the following rumours about the Rekieta, rumours were substantiated by his livestream performances, some of which we'll get to soon because it's in here as well. 2, the application for search warrant was silent on whether the unidentified reporter was a person known to law enforcement. 3, the application for search warrant was silent on whether the unidentified reporter was a reliable source. Now, when we've been covering Rekieta, something I felt quite important to observe was that it was less about proving innocence and more about prolonging the process to either get clean so when a drug test did happen, as an inevitability, he would be clean. Whereas at the time, it was done and there were problems. Didn't he have a monitor on him or something? He had restrictions. It was hilarious. His can-do, his willful, his ignorance were quite funny, because it was cope, on Nick Rekieta's part anyway. 4. The application for search warrant was silent on the source of the information that Nicholas and Kayla are friends with the Imholtz. And back to the point about this reliable source thing, it leans into the part where Nick Rekieta's attempts to have this all dismissed, centered around the warrant itself, and less about proving innocence. Why? Because he's not innocent. He knows it, but the only way he can legally get rid of it is to get that warrant null and voided. Therefore, everything else is irrelevant, because the initial undoes it. He knows the system. 5. Deputy Pomplin indicated that was personally familiar with the Aaron Imholtz social media... Wait, what? Are these written by a child? 6. The application for search warrant was silent on the source of the information that Nicholas is a social media blogger. Is that what he is? We're not going to go sensation, are we? I always thought of Nick Rekieta as a, at one point, legal commentary channel, now more politically charged and a bit slow channel. But social media blogger works, sure. 7. The application for search warrant was silent on the source of the information that Nicholas is known to drink alcohol excessively during video blogs. So, he's also known for other things. Sniff. Now, he may be known for excessive drinking during his video blogs. The problem with that is, he goes beyond the point of return to the point he is just useless. He is at that point a sack of bones in a skin shell sat on a chair, with these really unusual shakes. I wonder what they're from. 8. Deputy Pomplin viewed blogs created by Nicholas and Aaron and made the following observations. A. There was a change in Nicholas's appearance from January 2024 videos to the May 2024 videos, including that he appeared to have lost weight, appeared tired, and appeared strung out consistent with controlled substance users. B. Nicholas's studio was in the basement of his residence, like a good virgin. C. Aaron Imholt indicated that he and his wife were getting a divorce. Just to go back to B, yes, sarcasm, calm your tits and have a biscuit. D. Aaron Imholt indicated that he had experimented with drugs. E. The videos made it apparent that the Imholtz and Rekietas were friends who recently had a falling out. F. In Aaron Imholt's videos, April appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out. G. Nicholas and Aaron appearing in the same room during the videos. On the 22nd of May, Aaron published a video blog insinuating that Nicholas was using controlled substances, that Nicholas needs to get help, and help for his children because of his substance use, and that there was a video where Nicholas had a white powdery substance on his nose. I can't show that in the video, by the way, but pictures of that are everywhere. There's a whole forum, in fact, dedicated to it. Well, much of what Nicholas does, in fact, a farm where the harvest has been quite bountiful for them. On May 21st, Nicholas put a video blog online that showed him drinking what appeared to be an alcoholic beverage, and in which he appeared to be under the influence of controlled substances. During the video, Nicholas leaves to use the bathroom and returns with a white powdery substance under his nose. This is what is referenced in H, by the way. The deputy, Pomplin, believed Nicholas was under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant. The deputy believed Nicholas ingested a substance through his nasal cavity off-screen. During the video, Nicholas appears to struggle to read the screen, he rambles and has slurred speech. Now, I have shown that on YouTube. The slurring of speech, the clearly compromised individual. He is a performer on screen. That is what his job is, right? He's an actor, everyone. But because he live streams, he is reliant very much on live viewers to chat. He needs donations to get by, but he was taking things he shouldn't be touching. I understand the stress is a lot for a social battery type person, but if you have so much that you can then go and do things like this, you've got too much. Or you need to learn to pick up a hobby that's less destructive. Why don't you do Warhammer? Painting models? Oh, you've got shaky hands, you can't do. J. There is no indication contained in the application for search warrant as to what time of day the video was created, whether the children were under Nicholas's care, or if there were any other adults in the home caring for the children at the time the video was created. See? Trying to get rid of that damn pesky search warrant thing, aren't they? 9. Deputy Pomplin alleges that Nicholas has been the victim of swatting, and that the sheriff's office had responded to said swatting calls. 10. Deputy Pomplin misstates his qualifications as a DRE, and that he claims to have training and experience in making evaluations of individuals with whom he has only viewed in video productions and not personally interacted. See, we're doing a bit of poisoning the well in here as well. It's quaint. Analysis. The US and Minnesota constitutions protect against unreasonable searches and seizures. Law enforcement may conduct a search and seizure upon securing a warrant that is supported by probable cause and issued by a neutral, detached magistrate. Since a lot of this warrant stuff has ended with nothing, you can safely say this hasn't gone very far. On the next page, the affidavit must be sufficiently detailed and include all the evidence law enforcement has that supports probable cause to believe that the items sought are at the location to be searched, and they must describe with particularity the things to be seized. Affidavits must not be conclusory, but should detail the underlying circumstances that support the affiant's belief that there is probable cause, citing Aguilar versus Texas in 1964. A. The information reported to law enforcement has no indicia, if that's how you pronounce that, I do apologise, of reliability. If I mispronounce, I apologise even. The information in the affidavit can come from various sources, including eyewitness testimony, informants or surveillance. However, for the warrant to be valid, the sources must be reliable. If an informant is used, the affidavit must usually demonstrate that the informant has previously provided reliable information or that other independent sources corroborate their information. So not the thousands of people watching live because they're bots, everyone. NPCs, they're poor, they don't count. In our case, the affiant does not even bother to recite the source of much of the information. No mention is made of whether the information was from a reliable or unidentifiable informant. The reported disclosure does not reflect that the anonymous reporter possessed first-hand knowledge of the allegations. Moreover, the information reported was not corroborated by independent facts or verified through further investigation. In addition, the reported information is made even more suspect by the fact that Nicholas, as a well-known internet personality, has been a victim of recent swatting activity, likely initiated by Aaron Himholt. That is a dangerous accusation to make, because it's defamatory. You have to prove that part. You've written here, likely initiated as your get-out-of-jail-free card on that one. Do not assert in legal documents. It's not the smartest move. B. The facts alleged by the investigating deputy are conclusionary and based on pure speculation. I mean, the evidence that came out since kind of undoes that, but I get your point of nipping it at the start, therefore the rest is invalid. The fact that an internet celebrity... Sorry, I couldn't resist. May have appeared to have lost weight, appeared tired, and appeared strung out, are conclusory in nature and not factual. Actually, I watched some of those streams. He looked addled. He looked compromised in a way that I've only ever seen from a guy in San Francisco standing on his 2 feet yet his head is touching his knees. Not moving very much and a bit of a zombie. Oh, what's it called? Fenta, NyQuil? Something in that area. And yes, I've said it like that on purpose, thank you. Likewise, the allegation that April Imholt appeared tired, lethargic and strung out are mere conclusionary statements that fail to recite facts leading to such conclusions. For example, this is the age of prescription weight loss medication. Essentially, everyone is losing extraordinary amounts of weight in a short period of time. However, no independent investigation was done in that regard. There is no way Nick Rekieta was on freaking weight loss, drugs like Ozempic or semaglutide. If he was, he wouldn't have been able to stream, he would have thrown up. Man his size never needed it. That is such a reach. Nicholas also suffers from insomnia. I thought he was narcoleptic. That was another... I think I'd seen that somewhere. Yet no independent investigation was done in that regard. This is a way of stringing everything out. The house was searched. If they found anything that was weight loss related, it would be in some kind of inventory as a list. No offense intended to Rekieta if you were on it, but I don't believe you were. The white powder under your nose, clearly just sherbet, gave you away. And since I know for a fact that semaglutide and Ozempic are syringe, there's no way you snorted it. If you did, your brain would kill you. In addition, the mere fact that Aaron Imholt posted a dubious video blog insinuating that Nicholas was using controlled substances does not make said blog factual, corroborating evidence. It is at best unreliable hearsay, lived experience. You're taking anecdotal evidence, which is what it is, yes, you're right, and you're trying to fob it off as unreliable hearsay, because of a falling out being the part where you justify that remark. Okay. C. The investigating deputy does not possess any training or experience in determining drug recognition, so DRE, via video production, and thus is not qualified to offer a reliable expert opinion. The expert opinion of the investigating DRE deputy must be discounted as that opinion is based only upon the observations of the deputy while watching an internet video performance. Performance, you say? There exists no independent corroboration of any of the conclusions alleged by the deputy. There were no garbage pulls, no allegations from any person that there were drugs in the Rekieta home. Moreover, as a DRE, the deputy did not perform any testing on the defendant that would confirm his hunch. You mean the testing that was nigh on impossible to do because of someone's individual rights? Yes, I'd heard about that. If the court is to follow the deputy's logic, the deputy could just as easily justify a search of Al Pacino's office on the set of Scarface. False equivalent, but there's a reason for that, because... Well, we'll get to it soon, actually. I'm not going to spoil it. The reason I highlighted performance and then Pacino's office, yes, there's another part to this. This, just to talk about it generally for a moment, is another way of using appeal to authority. It's another way of trying to get that warrant invalidated. Doing that ends everything, for him, apparently. From what I've seen, that is quite typical. Nick Rekieta on streams multiple times, and I covered it here, he multiple times indicated that he was in some way innocent, but he wasn't going to show anything. He wasn't going to tell you anything, because legal proceedings, totally respected. And now more information is coming out, and he's not trying to debunk anything. He's just trying to get rid of that search warrant, desperately. I'm impressed though, I really am. Conclusion. The most disturbing part of the search warrant that was granted in this case, and affirmed by multiple judges by the way, was the utter lack of evidence or allegation, credible or otherwise, that there were illegal substances located in the Rekieta home, much less where these drugs were located within the home. Controlled substance use is not illegal in Minnesota. Possession is illegal. There are no allegations contained in the application for search warrant that recite any first-hand knowledge of illegal substance being present in the home at the time of the application. We don't know the nature of the white powdery substance alleged to be present on Nick Rekieta's nose, nor does the deputy. It is just as plausible that it was sheetrock dust as an illegal substance. We don't know whether Nicholas was actually consuming alcohol, nor does the deputy. We can't field test a video, it's all speculation, conclusory statements, and guesses from people who have no first-hand knowledge of the home. Nicholas Rekieta is an internet personality, and in the single video, the only credible evidence contained in the application for search warrant, Nicholas Rekieta was engaged in an internet performance. It is a show for likes and hits. The more likes, comments, and hits the performance generates, the more income is generated. He is an actor. We all know we are not to believe what we see and hear on the internet. I see we're looking down on the internet in that respect. That's interesting. That's another poisoning the well thing. It's cute. But you think he's an actor? Bitch, he's not an actor. He is 100% a user of sherbet. We've seen enough of it over the years. Everyone's got first-hand experience of seeing somebody take it. We know the symptoms. We know the reactions. You even acknowledge track marks on his sodding arms, for God's sake. Don't try me. And don't try and tell me that's weight loss, because I know for a fact that goes into the abdomen. Alright? Don't try me with this bollocks. Alright? This is hilarious. So while looking at Twitter, after seeing that amazing piece of work, I noticed that a continuance has in fact happened. And we have a video of that from Stallion19, from Steel Toe.
Then we have, I was going to talk about this today, but there's not really much to talk about. It looked like the scorned lover, who seems to be still very much obsessed with the one that got away, Mr. Narc Injury himself, had his little settlement deal today. And something got up. Sounded like it was ready to go. Sounded like it was all signed, sealed, delivered. He was like, I'm about to do something that's against everything in my being. It's like, shut up, Bill Pullman, and Independence Day, and go plead to your drug problem, you
The segment where they talk about Nick Rekieta in this doesn't go for too long, but I do have to insert this because of fair use. And they do, and I tend to agree with them, apply Occam's razor to this in the future. So I'll play that clip before I say something else.
I mean, it's a lot of charges, and they're very serious charges, and you gotta figure out if they're going to agree or if they're going to pull it off the table. It's all kinds of shit that's probably going on. So I'm going to Occam's razor the damn thing, and I'm just going to say that the easiest explanation is probably the best one, and that he probably went in there fully ready to bend over, grab his ankles, and take the big judicial dick up the ass. But they just, a little tweak here and a little tweak there, and they'll get it. I'm sure they'll get it figured out in December. That's what I think.
Now, I do want to insert, this person doesn't think cats count as real pets when they talk about Ethan Ralph later on. I feel like that in and of itself is a separate video that I might do because it triggered me just enough. Cats are real pets. Well, we are their pets. If you don't agree with me, that's quite alright. chances are you've been beaten by a cat far too many times. I agree with what has been said here, though, about the continuance, and then we will find out more in December, which is fine. I have a longer form video on Nickrakeita planned for then anyway.